Welcome to my channel. I discuss topics that are useful to professionals who want to pursue a career in data analytics. I am Abhishek Chauhan, Decision Science Practitioner and Associate Faculty at National College of Ireland. I am recording this video in my personal capacity and is separate to my teaching role at any organization. This is a beginner's video, a very simple representation of data in terms of three charts, which is a bar chart, a line chart, and a pie chart. And there is a surprise at the end, which you can also use in your daily life. So let's start with a pie chart. So there are two tables here, which I have already defined. Table number one, in which we have the tea drinkers versus coffee drinkers in terms of percentage. So this is a makeup table. It's not an actual data, it's just for representation purposes. So to make a pie chart, first of all, we need to select the data. We do not need to select the headings. So after selecting the data, we go to insert, go to pie chart, and I generally prefer 3D pie charts because they are better looking. We will do some modifications in this pie chart. So generally Excel gives these two colors, which I personally don't like. So I like generally similar looking colors. So let me change the colors of these two. Okay, for the first one, I'll select the light blue color, and for the next one, the other pie, I will select a little darker shade, and that's it. Okay, let me change the layout as well a little bit so that I can see coffee and tea percentages on the pies. Now, I don't like this chart title because generally these charts are part of a big presentation. So when you have a written text around something and then you add a chart there, so there is no need to actually show a chart title. It totally depends on requirements to requirements. You might need that. This totally depends upon your usage. Okay, let me remove the border area as well. And one last change which I would like to do in the chart is that when I click one of the pie and drag it a little bit out, it gives me a 3D representation kind of thing. So I like this thing. Okay, so our first chart, which is a pie chart, is done. Now let's move on to the second chart, which is a line chart. For the line chart, we are going to use table number 2. I have taken some hypothetical numbers like temperature in Dublin City in 12 months. So again, let's select the data first. Second step is also the same, which is go to insert and select the type of chart. So I select 2D charts if it's a line chart. And let me change the layout a little bit because I want to show my viewers that the temperature is in Celsius and not in Fahrenheit. Okay, now because we have only one series, by series we mean one line, so we do not need this series label. We remove it, and I again remove the chart title and these lines as well, these horizontal lines. So generally these lines are useful when you have to see minor details, for example, stock market details, but otherwise you don't need them. So I remove the borders as well, again, so that they look good in a presentation in a PPT. And our chart is done. Okay, let me drag this chart a little bit out. Okay, for the third chart, which is a bar chart, again, I'll go to table number 2. Same step number 1, selecting the data. Step number 2, inserting a chart. We go to a bar chart, a 2D column chart. Drag it out a little bit. Okay, now here as well, because of chart title, I'll use this place this time. I'll write in Celsius. And I will remove these horizontal lines. And again, the border fill. You can play around with these options. There are many options. I think there are more than 100 ways that you can create these charts. So as a beginner, you should learn the basics of it, try it 10, 20 times, and then you can actually change it as per your requirements or whatever you like. Okay, so these three charts are done. Very simple, very efficient. You can learn them in 10 minutes and you can actually show these charts rather than showing a table to your managers. Now, the last part, which is a surprise element, which I promised in the beginning. So if I select in table number 2, if I select only the data part, there's a box at the bottom right. So if I click this, Excel gives me 5 other options as well. So like data bars, which look like this, color scale, icon sets, you can see up, down, and neutral, greater than. So these are conditional formatting, top 10, and you can clear the format. So my personal preference is bar charts. Now, this bar chart is better looking as compared to this bar chart, as well as better than this line chart. The one positive thing around this bar chart is that it's a condensed form giving the same amount of information. So generally these charts are part of big presentations. So let's assume that you have a presentation, a slide where there are 5 different charts and you have to put this table as well as a chart. Then it will be very congested. So the best way to do it is create this table, add data bars, and that's it. Job done. So chart selection is totally based upon the type of data, that what type of data you have. Your data should not be a continuous data, otherwise the charts will not look that good. But if you have this type of data, then it is totally okay. Thank you very much.